Welcome to the Parsha Perspective. Each week, we will delve deep in a weekly Torah portion to find a practical and insightful way to enhance your daily life. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Rabbi Shalom Yamini, and each week we will look into the weekly Torah portion to find practical and insightful ways to enhance your daily life. This week's Parsha Perspective is in honor of our homeland, Eretz Yisrael. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu protect our brave soldiers and grant them strength and victory. This week's Parsha Perspective is in loving memory of Yehudis Bas Shimon, Baruch Chaim ben Mordechai, Edward ben Ephraim, Shlomo ben Edward, and Yerachmiel Daniel ben Gedalia. May their souls be uplifted and may their memories be a blessing. This week's Parsha Perspective is in honor of the Refuah Shalema of Shaul ben Edward and Reuven ben Rechaliah. May they have a complete and speedy recovery. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Pinchas, worthy of service. Before I begin, the release date of this episode falls on the 17th of Tammuz, a fast day that marks the beginning of the 3 weeks. On this day, the walls of Yerushalayim were breached, paving the way for the destruction of the Beis Midrash. And this period culminates on Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, where we mourn the destruction of both the first and second Beis Midrash. It is a time of reflection and introspection, a time for renewed commitment as we strengthen our hope and prayers for the Geula Amitis V'Ashlema, the ultimate redemption with the coming of Mashiach. Our Parsha begins with Pinchas, the grandson of Aaron HaKohen, receiving a reward for a bold and controversial act. When Zimri, the leader of the tribe of Shimon, publicly consorted with the Midianite princess Cozbi, Pinchas took a spear and ended both their lives. And as a reward, HaKadosh Baruch Hu granted Pinchas the kahuna, the priesthood. The Talmud in Zavachim explains that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu anointed Aaron and his 4 sons, the appointment applied only to Aaron and his 4 sons and those who were born after. Since Pinchas was already alive at the time, he was not originally included in the appointment. The Parsha then turns to Moshe Rabbeinu, who is commanded to ascend Har Evarim, Mount Evarim, and view the land of Israel from afar. And though he would not enter the land, God allows him to see the land, offering him a glimpse of the promise that he spent his life pursuing. Moshe then turns to Hashem and asks who will lead the people after him. He hopes it will be his children, just as Aaron's sons inherited the priesthood. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu appointed Yehoshua ben Nun, Moshe's devoted student, to become the next leader of the Jewish people. However, a question comes to mind. What was it about Yehoshua that made him worthy of becoming Moshe's successor? There were many righteous individuals, many tzaddikim, each one having remarkable qualities and accomplishments. What distinguished Yehoshua ben Nun from everyone else? What made him the chosen one to continue the mission that Moshe began and lead this nation into the promised land? The Midrash by Midbar Rabbah gives us a simple explanation, and it writes that Yehoshua distinguished himself through years of unwavering devotion to Moshe Rabbeinu. While many people admired Moshe Rabbeinu from a distance, from afar, Yehoshua devoted himself to learning from him every single day. The Midrash writes that Yehoshua faithfully served Moshe for many years, arriving early and staying late in Moshe's presence. He arranged the benches, he prepared the mats, and never left his teacher's side. And these were not just acts of service, they reflected his humility, his dedication, and his desire to absorb every single lesson that Moshe could teach. And through years of quiet commitment, through years of unwavering faithfulness, as the Jewish people had many ups and downs, Yehoshua and Moshe Rabbeinu's side was steady. And so that prepared himself to lead the Jewish nation into the promised land. However, the Rebbe gives us a deeper and more profound explanation. And he writes that Yeshua's years of service was not just preparation for leadership. They revealed the very essence of what Jewish leadership is. According to the Midrash, Moshe Rabbeinu envisioned 2 separate leaders, one to guide the Jewish people in Torah and mitzvahs, and the other to serve as king and as military commander. The Rebbe explains that God rejected that proposal because those 2 roles could not be separated. The world often believes that authority gives the person the right to lead. The Torah teaches the opposite. A Jewish leader does not become great because of the position they hold. They are entrusted with that position because they become great through Torah. And that is what set Yehoshua ben Nun apart. He sat years next to Moshe Rabbeinu, Not simply years of service, years of transformation. He learned, he saw, and those actions that he saw, those lessons that he learned shaped the leader he would become. Yehoshua did not simply inherit Moshe Rabbeinu's position. He inherited Moshe Rabbeinu's vision, Moshe Rabbeinu's values, Moshe Rabbeinu's unwavering commitment to God. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose him over Moshe Rabbeinu's children, chose him over everyone else to lead his nation into the Promised Land. This profound lesson of the Lubavitcher Rebbe is ever more relevant today on this Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, the 17th of Tammuz. The walls of Yerushalayim did not fall in a single moment. Their collapse reflected a spiritual decline that has been developing long before the breach itself. We are reminded every day that all our decisions carry consequences. But the Rebbe focuses on the positive, and so will I. Just as small compromises can gradually weaken our future, small acts of growth, small acts of commitment have the power to rebuild it and to change for the better. In our daily life, it is imperative to realize that we often focus on where we want to be instead of who we need to become. We look for opportunities to grow and succeed, yet every opportunity carries responsibility. And before greater responsibilities are given to us, we must first become the kind of person prepared to carry them on our shoulders. Real growth usually happens long before anyone notices it, and it is shaped by the choices we make and the values that we refuse to compromise on. When we remain committed to becoming the best version of ourselves through discipline and commitment, we position ourselves to achieve success far beyond what we once thought possible. There's a profound quote from Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to truly test a man's character, give him power. Have a great weekend and good Shabbos. Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.